Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this session, we are going to talk about the asexual reproduction and its types. So, let us begin with our topic, types of asexual reproduction. As we are aware that sexual reproduction is a process where a single parent is capable of producing the offspring. Now, the offsprings that are produced in asexual reproduction are morphologically and genetically similar to each other, and that is the reason they are termed as the clones. Clones means the organisms which look exactly like each other. Yes? So, asexual reproduction can be commonly seen in single-celled organisms. Now look at this term single-celled organism because this is the unique property when it's come to asexual reproduction. And it can be seen, the example of asexual reproduction basically are the various monorins and protists because they are the single-celled organisms. In asexual reproduction, cell division itself is a mode of reproduction. Cell division is itself a mode of reproduction which is generally seen in asexual reproduction. But apart from that, asexual reproduction are of many types. So let us dig more into its type, and we will first start with the binary fission. Binary fission is basically a very simple division in which cell divides to form two individuals. As you can see in this animation, that cell is being divided to form two new individuals or two new cells. So this type of division is generally seen in amoeba and paramecium. So in this picture below, this picture is showing the binary fission taking place in amoeba. So let us see, the first step in this image is the parent amoeba, which is ready to go the division, the process of binary fission here. So in the second step, as you can see, that the nucleus of the parent amoeba is now getting elongated. And when you see the third step, in the third step you will find that the division of nucleus and cytoplasm is taking place in the third step. And in the fourth step, you'll see that the complete separation of two new daughter cells has now formed. So yes, this is a very simple division, binary fission, which is seen in amoeba and paramecium. Next type of asexual reproduction includes budding. And as the name suggests, in this process, a bud detaches from its main stem and forms a new individual. So you can follow this animation which is going on your screen, that as you can see that a bud is getting detached from the main stem in case of hydra. Yes, in case of hydra it is shown in the animation. So in the process of budding, the identity of parent is generally lost. So looking at its process, you'll find that there is a picture of hydra in the first step. And in the second step, you can see that a bulge which is known as the bud is being formed. And in the later stage, the bud is now growing into a baby hydra. Yes, it is now growing into a baby hydra. And in the next step, you can easily see that this baby hydra is being separated from the main stem. It then separates and it forms the whole new individual, the whole new hydra. So the example in case of budding is very clear. It is generally seen in hydra and yeast. Next type of asexual reproduction is fragmentation. And if we go by its name, it simply means that the parent body is breaking down into two parts or two fragments, which is capable of growing independently and living as a whole new organism. Now the example of fragmentation is spirogyra. So in this image on your screen, you can see that the spirogyra, which is showing the further fragmentation of its body into two fragments, two parts. This is the first part and this is the second part. And fragmentation or breakdown of the spirogyra has taken place from this part of the area. Now, one of the important points I want to add in this topic is that whenever you are preparing asexual reproduction or any type of reproduction, maybe sexual or asexual, So in this case, the image, the diagram of this organism, whether you are studying fragmentation, budding, or any type of asexual reproduction, and its example. These 2 points are very important for you to learn, to remember, and also from your exam point of view. Moving on to the next type of asexual reproduction, that is regeneration. Now, in the process of regeneration, the organism generally breaks into 2 parts. It breaks down into 2 parts, as you can see in this animation shown on your screen. But each part which is formed is not completely sufficient to live as a new individual. Why? Because they have a particular missing parts in them. So that missing part of an organism is further repaired through proliferation of cells. Here I am putting a star here. Why? Because this section, proliferation of cells, it actually relates with the topic regeneration. Why? Because the missing part of that organism is being regenerated through the process which is known as the proliferation of cells, means multiplication of the cells, as you can see in the animation as well. Now the organisms which are formed can live independently. So coming to its example, regeneration is generally seen in Hydra, Planaria and sponges. Next type of asexual reproduction is spore formation. So in the process of spore formation, the parent plant produces hundreds of reproductive units called as spores, which are produced inside a spore sac known as sporangium. You will see this term in this image, that the spore sac, you can see the circular spore sac, it is known as sporangium, inside which lot number of spores are produced. So after these sporangium get matured, the spore sac burst open into the air, releasing a lot amounts of spores. But if the condition is not favorable, they remain dormant until the condition is favorable. After that, they germinate and produce new plants. Coming to its example, spore formation is generally seen in rhizopus, ferns and mosses. Next type of asexual reproduction is through the zoospores. So zoospores basically are the special asexual reproductive structures which are biflagellated, means they have 2 flagella, number 1 and number 2. So that is why they are also motile in nature, because as we know that the function of flagella is to provide movement to the organism. Now, zoospores are found generally in algae and fungi, and its example specifically is Chlamydomonas. So in the image below, you can see that the zoospores are coming out of the Chlamydomonas, which is one of the examples in zoospores. There are other common asexual reproductive structures as well. And the first one we are going to talk about is conidia. So conidia is a structure which has a stalk which is known as conidiophore. So this is the stalk of conidia, which is known as conidiophore. Now the extension of this conidiophore is known as sterigmata. It is known as sterigmata. And on top of sterigmata are various conidia which are formed in a circular shape. So these are known as the conidia. Now if we see the structure of conidia which are formed on sterigmata, we'll see that the young conidia are formed at the base and the mature conidia are formed on the top of these structures. But unlike zoospores, these conidia lack flagella, because of which they are non-motile in nature, means they are not able to move freely. Also, these conidia are exogenous in origin, as they are formed outside their structure. Now coming to its example, conidia are generally formed in penicillium and aspergillus. Now these conidia results in formation of new organisms. Another type of asexual reproductive structures are the gamils. So gamils are asexually produced mass of cells. In this image you will find that there are various mass of cells which are present inside a structure which is known as the gamils. So each gamule is capable of developing into a new organism or a freshwater sponge. So as the image shown on your screen, you can see that these are the small bud-like structures which are formed by these sponges. Basically, they are formed because or to withstand the unfavorable environmental conditions around them. So it technically means that these cells are at a state of metabolic arrest, means they are dormant and will get activated when there will be a favorable conditions. And being activated means they can now or they can then germinate into a new organism or a freshwater sponge. So these formation of gammules are generally seen in the buds of mosses and spores of hydra. Next very important type of asexual reproduction is vegetative propagation. In the process of vegetative propagation, the new plant is not formed. Yes, instead, the old part of the plant is used to grow into a new individual, and that part can be roots, shoots, or leaves. And unlike we have seen in the previous various types of asexual reproduction, that the division was forming into a whole new individual. But here, the old part of the plant is used to form a new individual. But an important point to remember here is that the reproductive parts are not involved in this case. The reproductive parts are not involved in this case. For example, guava trees which can be propagated using their roots. Vegetative propagation has various units which is capable of giving rise to a new offspring. So these units or structures are called as vegetative propagules, and these structures do not involve two parents, only a single unit or a single structure, such as first one are the runners, in which a runner grows out of the mother plant horizontally. As you can see in this image, a runner is growing out of this mother plant horizontally, in a horizontal manner, which produces a baby plant. So this is a baby plant on the right of the mother plant. Now this baby plant further grows into a mother plant which can be then cut off and get planted somewhere else. Next one are the rhizome. So rhizomes are also called as the creeping rootstock. These are also known as creeping root stock. Yes. So these are the horizontal underground plant stem which are capable of producing the root or the shoot system of a new plant. And interestingly, these rhizomes store various starches and proteins. They store starch and proteins which helps these new plants to survive. Next are the suckers. Now these are the plant growth that develops from the rootstock of a plant. They develop from a rootstock of a plant, but they do not originate from a seed. Instead, they grow from the base of the root of the plant, but at a certain distance. For example, in case of apple and banana. Now the next one are the tubers. So tubers are basically the enlarged structure which are used to store nutrients in some plants. Means they store nutrients such as starch inside them. Yes, which provide energy and nutrients for the regrowth of a plant. You can also see in this picture that they are producing a small bud-like structure from its surface. Now these bud-like structures are potentially able to produce into a whole new plant, and these plants can gain energy from these stored nutrients inside them. And the example, as you can see clearly, that it is seen in potato. Next up is the offset. It is a modification of stem in which a lateral branch with short internode and each node bearing a rosette of leaves and tuft of roots is present. So offset is used as a form of vegetative reproduction as well. And this type of modification is generally found in aquatic plants like Pistia and Ischornia. So the image that you can see on your screen is the image of Ischornia. Now next one are the bulbs. So bulbs have a layer or scales of dormant leaves. For example, in case of onion, yes. So the main function of these bulbs is to store food during their period of dormancy. You might have heard about terror of Bengal. It is an aquatic plant which is known as the water hyacinth, and it is an invasive weed which generally grows on a standing water. So what it does is basically it drains oxygen from the water, which leads to the death of the fishes. Do you know that this plant was introduced in India because of its beautiful flower and shape of its leaves? As you can see in this image, that how beautiful it looks. But since it can propagate vegetatively at a phenomenal rate and can spread very quickly all over the water body in a very short period of time, so that is why it is very difficult to get rid of them. Till now we have seen small plants emerging from the buds or eyes of the potato tuber or from the rhizome of banana or the ginger. But when we examine the site of origin of these new plantlets that we have studied in this video, you will notice that they arise from the nodes that is present in the modified stem of these plants. And when these nodes come in contact with the damp soil or water, so these nodes gives rise to or produce roots and new plants. In a similar way, adventitious buds that arise from the notches which is present at the margin of the leaves of bryophyllum. So these are the adventitious buds that are arising from the margin of the leaves of the bryophyllum, which gives rise to a new plantlets. Now this ability is fully exploited by the farmers and various gardeners for the commercial propagation of a plant. So yes, with this we come to an end of our topic, that is types of asexual reproduction. So stay tuned for more amazing content. Thank you.